what they're creating, right? So one thing which was brought down in the earnings call, which Bob Iger's kind of shaked off as we're so cool, yeah, is that they're not really making anything and they need to refocus certain bits and pieces. So this is a headline which has some other bits and pieces in it, but it's "We've turned the corner and entered a new era for our company," was what Bob Iger thought. That was what he said anyway. And he said a lot of nonsense in all of this. So he's talking about free cash flow, things like that. But hidden in all of this nonsense was, oh yeah, we're actually making like a Moana 2. We're making a Moana 2, and actually what we need to do,
that's going to get him back on track for sure.
Yeah, and Marvel's lost its way, and what we're going to do is going to lean into sequels, as if people haven't had enough of them, and franchises going forward. Now, what I found hilarious about this was he said this: "I'd say we're leaning a little bit more into sequels and franchises. I think given the environment and given what it takes to get people out of their homes to see a film, you're literally telling them to stay at home and watch Disney Plus, you idiot. Leaning on franchises that are familiar is actually a smart thing. In our zeal to greatly increase volume, partially tied to this wanting to chase more global subs for our streaming platform, some of our studios lost a little focus. So the first step that we've taken is that we've reduced volume, we've reduced output, particularly in Marvel." And he says this: "Look into our 2023 theatrical slate. We're excited to bring audiences Captain America Brave New World and Fantastic Four for Marvel. Pixar has Zootopia 2. And then there's Avatar 3. And we're already looking forward to 2026 and beyond with Frozen 3 and the Toy Story movie since 2019. What the fuck? Oh, the first Toy Story movie since 2019. And a new Star Wars movie that brings the Mandalorian and Grogu to the big screen for the first time."
That stood out to me that he mentioned that, and not much else other than the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew when it came to Star Wars. No Rey movie, nothing else. And on the Moana thing, that was a good idea. Moana is popular. It was one of their last big hits. But the idiot admitted that it was a TV show and now they're just repurposing it as a movie. Yes. I would have never said that.
No.
Because that now makes you look desperate. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to use because what happened was, in the short version, is back in the day, Pixar, they were making a sequel to Toy Story 2. They were actually forced to make a sequel to Toy Story 2. And it was going to be straight to video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of the executives noticed that the movie was actually really good. Yep. So they're like, well, we're going to put this in theaters. So Lasseter's like, well, that's cool, but this is not good enough to put in theaters. We are going to redo the entire thing. So they redid the entire thing. Same story, but they made it a little bit more elaborate for film, for a theater. That's what he's trying to evoke here. That's not what's coming across here, dude. What's coming across here, dude, is you don't have enough stuff to release in theaters. So you desperately slap this, what was supposed to be a streaming show, together as a movie, and now you're going to put it out on Thanksgiving because you have nothing else. And I've pointed this out. They only released like 2 movies last quarter. They have not released 1 movie this quarter that they're in right now.
Yeah.
So they have not had anything out. And then he goes to talk about their hits, and the only hits they've had, he brings up Avatar 2, which came out in the end of 2022.
And so he mentions Avatar 2
and Guardians of the Galaxy.
If you look at Avatar 2 on an inflation basis, it actually performed worse than Avatar 1 in the States.
Yes, and I pointed that out at the time too, that it was not doing as well stateside as the first film.
Yeah. So bums on seats, actual physical people going to watch.
And you can even question how much they get of that, because that's Fox Searchlight. Or not Fox Searchlight, Lightstorm, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, specifically though, is that the interest is gone, and them using that as a thing to be like, oh, look at us. Yeah, no, that's really bad. And then I think it was Guardians 3 that they did, which wasn't that much of a positive thing. But from an investor's perspective, Mike, what did you make of all of this? Talking about refocus on franchises and sequels. I mean, in Marvel specifically, they don't have anything that anyone is interested in. They literally have nothing. So I think
Deadpool 3 and Captain 4 are the only 2 they mentioned for Marvel. Yeah,
Captain America.
And Agatha.
Yeah, this segment I'll probably have the least amount of input on versus all the segments you're covering today. But I will, because here's to me is my comment is this. This is an example of the gaslighting. First of all, you morons at Disney have been trying to make money off of things that used to make money, and you've been incredibly unsuccessful at it. It's it's like he's speaking out of two ends of his mouth. What do you think you've been doing? You've been doing that, and it's been failing. Iger, you freaking moron. I mean, it's not like this company has taken a risk and gone out and created new independent things, and those didn't work. I mean, sure, there's been a few of those on the animation side that's woke ass crap. Because if he's going to be honest with it, he might as well say, hey, listen, we need to get back to family storytelling and do that, because that's truly what the right answer is. The right answer is not go back and continue to reharvest old things and recircle things. I mean, I feel like what Bob basically said with this announcement, Nate, and I know that's going to sound dramatic, but it's how I felt when I listened to it. I feel like he's telling me he's going to go back into the fridge and he's going to try to put together a stew in a pot of leftover roast beef of other things. And you know what's going to happen? He's going to serve that dish out. It's going to come out of the microwave and it's not going to perform well. What we have learned from Disney is that they have no idea what to do with their own properties, whether these properties were acquired or whether these properties were created under more talented people in the past, whether it's Lasseter or others. So I think it is hollow, wishful thinking, and it is a poor, awful strategy. What he should have said is he should have said, this company became great over the last 100 years because we entertain families with new stories and compelling creators and what we're going to do is we're going to create new characters and new stories and new properties that are going to make sure the next 100 years will be as robust and amazing as the last 100 years. And that's not what this announcement said.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. There's no originality there, is there? No pushing forward to say, yeah, we are the sort of front runners in family entertainment. We come up with the best stories, blah blah blah. It's like, we've got some stuff that people liked before. Yay! It's basically
now they're more interested in the diversity and inclusion of their creatives and all their employees.
Yes,
that's seen by Elon Musk that he tweeted out.
That's the topic. Shush.
Yeah. I know. I'm not getting into it. I'm just mentioning it.
I just got a few things to say, like the Apple Dumpling Gang.
What?
The Love Bug. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This used to be a company that made a lot of original family entertainment.
Oh yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. They don't do this anymore. You know what their live action division does now? Makes remakes of their old cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which coincidentally, we're getting a Moana live action remake as well. Which is super, super dumb.
We don't have to pay any creatives. We just remake all our old stuff that did well.
Basically,
we'll save money.
Absolutely ridiculous. Well, what's your guys' take home from them? Say again, the whole we're going to lean on franchise. I mean, with Marvel, they don't have anything though. There really is nothing that people are actually interested in. There's nothing. Like I reckon they're going to bring people back. They're desperate. They've got to be desperate to bring the old cast back.
Well,
what do you reckon?
Who would want to go back at this point, though?
Yeah, I don't see a lot of these people saying, "Hey, I need to get signed up for this," unless I'm going to make a giant paycheck. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. He looked a little rough recently, and I'm not sure if he's going to be a compelling.
I'll give him the
Iron
benefit
Man.
of the doubt that I think he did a lot of that for.
I agree with you, but I'm going to say that
he's turned vegan, isn't he? So.
I think he just did that to lose weight for another role, and because he lost some weight for Oppenheimer, and then I think he did another role after that. Because now I've seen him recently, and he's gained some weight back, so I don't know if he's still.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Doing that or what he's doing. Yeah.
Regardless, like I said, I just don't see him coming back. I really don't want to see the other Chris come back.
Not for cheap anyway.
He's a freaking tool. What the hell was his name? Chris
Evans.
Evans. Yeah, I don't ever want to see him again. In fact, I think they need to retire the idea of Captain America because they've bastardized it so much. I don't
know. I don't hold the actor's personal, like he's not one that's gotten on my nerves. Like yeah, I don't like his political views, but he doesn't shove his crap down my throat like other people have. So as far as Captain America goes, I feel like he's one that I can't believe they haven't exploited more because he's not as expensive as the rest of them.
No.
And there's several Captain America stories you can tell. In fact, there's an entire story we haven't heard yet about him. What happened in the 80 years or whatever that he went and put the stones back.
Well,
60 years or whatever it was. Yeah.
And I liked him as Captain America. He was one of my favorite. I mean, Winter Soldier is still my favorite MCU movie of all time.
I'm sorry, but Captain 4 should be about him putting the stones back throughout time.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, but
Not
there was
Falcon.
there were great stories with Captain America and the Falcon that Nick just mentioned that I think should be exploited. Those are things I remember from my youth
If
being
anything,
great.
get rid of Ruffalo. He's one that grinds on my nerves.
Oh, he's the worst. Ugh.
Get Edward Norton back. Speaking of, this is the Edward Norton show, by the way.
Apparently today, yeah.
If we can keep bringing him up a 5th or 6th time, maybe he'll show up.
Loving it. Just
Love to have
absolutely
him
loving
on.
it.
I got a fun fact. My ex-wife dated him. They both went to Yale.
Are you kidding me?
I swear.
So is he basically what everybody says, that he's basically the character that he plays in Birdman, a complete asshole?
She said he was tough. They didn't make it because he was temperamental. That's the word.
Yeah.
She used.
See, that's basically what I've heard from a few people that he is basically the character he plays in Birdman in real life.
She said he was really good at her, but he was really temperamental, and that's why they didn't work out.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah.
Right, well, let's shuffle on to some super chats, guys.